edition rock and roll.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Chase Carter Concept Podcast for Thursday, March 11th. Hope everything's going well in your life. What's going on in my life, you ask? Not very much. I got into an argument, a Sea of Thieves argument, a meaningless video game argument yet again with my girlfriend. See, this is what I don't understand. She just doesn't listen. She just doesn't listen. You ask her to do one thing, and I'm exaggerating here. She listens just fine, but she doesn't listen. You see, I gotta keep that up because I'm in the process of buying some things that are on sale on my Xbox, and I don't know what to buy. I'm not too sure. But should I buy the Assassin's Creed Origins season pass, even though I already beat the game? Do I buy the DLC? But I already have, I haven't beat Valhalla yet. So should I have to beat Valhalla first and then go? Are these rules that I'm just making up in my head? I'm not sure. Now, let's get back to my girlfriend because she needs to be ridiculed on a podcast that she does not listen to. Now, I'm usually the captain of the ship because I'm the better player because I've been playing video games my whole life and I'm just overall better individual in general. Now, she, so we're in the battle. She doesn't listen. Whatever I tell her not to do, I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. That's not going to put you in an advantageous position. She does exactly what I tell her not to do. So knowing that, should I be smart enough to tell her not to do something that I want her to do? Should I do that? I'm not too sure. But in the moment, I'm not that smart. So this all comes back on it being my issue. But so we're on our ship, our little sloop, okay? One cannon on each side of the ship. We see another sloop. We're just about ready to end the session, our gameplay session. So we're like, hey, let's go fight these people. And if we die, it doesn't matter. What have you. So we go, we attack them. We're in a good position. We're firing on them. Somehow we get, because we're circling, let's see, how can I explain this to somebody that doesn't, we knock down their sail, so their mast is down, so they're dead in the water. Then we harpoon them, and our sail's fine, and we're circling them, just shooting them over and over and over. Somehow they're repairing the ship in the best possible way I can imagine, because they're not sinking. And my girlfriend, for some reason, loves to use cursed cannonballs. Well, cursed cannonballs don't put holes in the ship. So if you don't hit them with the cursed cannonball, like their actual character, instead of the ship, it doesn't put holes. So she's unleashing all of these cursed cannonballs at them that's not putting holes in their ship. And then she wonders why it's not sinking. And I've told her in the past that the cursed cannonballs don't put holes in the ship. You need to put lots of holes in the ship for them to sink. But so it's just, so we accidentally disconnect from the ship. And that one was my fault because I let go of the harpoon. I let go of the harpoon because I thought I had time to get back to it. I didn't. I thought they were coming on board. So I went to protect our ship instead of staying on the harpoon gun. My error. So we get disconnected, and since our sail is down, we get speed and we kind of drive away from them. So I turn, I shoot myself back to their ship. I kill both of them. I'm waiting for her. I tell my girlfriend, turn the ship around and come attack them. They're a sitting duck. They're sitting there, not moving at all. So the best possible way is to just drive directly towards the enemy ship and then turn 90 degrees so the cannon's facing them and just shoot them a few times. Because by the time I got back to their ship, they had fixed everything. They were dry. They were just about ready to get their sail up, and I killed both of them, waiting for them to respond. And I'm like, Corey, I need you back here in time. She's having all sorts of issues. I'm like, Corey, I need you to cause some kind of confusion because 2-on-1, I'm not going to win most of the time. I'm not that good. So maybe I should step my skill levels up? Yes, I admit that. It was my fault as well for not being good. So I'm waiting for these two guys. two people, excuse me. I didn't want to assume their gender. Two people to respawn on back on their ship and come attack me. So I'm waiting, and I have a shotgun. I have a sword out and a shotgun. Those are my two weapons, and I have my sword out, and I want them to get real close so I can switch to a shotgun and shoot them. Well, I switched to a shotgun, and I forgot to reload it. So my fault again, right? I'm the asshole. I'm the asshole. But minutes are going by, and Corey can't turn the ship around by herself and then put one or two holes in the ship. Can't do that. So I'm sitting there wondering, and that will cause chaos and confusion, maybe kill them with a cannonball shot. Who knows? But nothing's going on. She's so far away. She's actually sailing in the opposite direction that the enemy ship is. So she's having all sorts of issues. And by the way, she plays this game by herself. So it's not like she just started playing this game and she doesn't know how anything works. She plays by herself. She's been playing it for months. She knows how it works. But for some reason, she got all willy-nilly. She got all confused. And so that was my first, or that was the latest one. And I'm just like, well, what are you doing? I'm sitting here waiting for you. It's like, it's not hard. She's like, well, I wanted to do the circling. I wanted to get the boat at a small, at a low speed, and then turn the wheel a little bit and just circle around them while continuously shooting. I'm like, no, it doesn't. You need to stop the boat, hard stop, turn the boat 90 degrees, and just pepper them with cannonball fire. He said, well, what if one of them got off the boat and then came onto my boat? I was like, I would let you know. I'm looking at two of them. I will let you know if one of them head towards you. So I just think we need to communicate better. And then, oh my God! And then this is insane. This is I don't understand. Um, I don't understand. I don't understand. So we're at a skeleton fort. We're parked at a place where the island cannot shoot at us. Okay, and we leave all of the skeletons. There's so let me explain. Let me try to learn how to explain this. So there's an island with treasure on it, a fort, and you have to kill waves and waves of enemies on the fort. Now surrounding that island are three cannon towers, wooden towers with cannons, and then the skeletons, when you approach the island, fire on you from their obviously from their position. So the object of the most people do is they kill all the skeletons in those towers so they can't shoot your boat. But what I do is I leave those skeletons up there and I park the boat where those towers can't shoot me. So then if any other ship approaches, those skeleton towers shoot them. So I turn the skeleton's defense into my defense, basically. So we're parked there. Corey's on the ship. We're parked in the little sweet spot, the can't get hit zone. Okay. Another ship is coming. Another sloop is coming towards us. Now we don't know their intentions. We don't know. So they're coming at us. I tell Corey, well, just rotate the ship. Don't move the ship. Just rotate it because you can still turn the ship whichever way you want. Turn the ship to where our cannons are facing them. And if they come right towards you, they're getting peppered. They're getting hit by all the towers, skeletons, cannons, right? And then you could add to it as well. She gets nervous and drops the sail and moves the ship. And I'm like, you are in the most advantageous position that you could be in the game, pretty much. You have multiple cannons shooting these people, and if they come up and are aggressive to you, then you could just unload on them. I don't understand the issue. Like, you wanted to practice shooting cannons, taking a ship out. You get your chain shot, you fire chain shots until you knock their mast down, and then you fill their ship up with normal cannonballs. She just leaves. She just bails, right? And then I die by the boss, and then by the time then she just books it. She runs really far away from the island, and by the time I get back to the ship, I spawn back on the ship. She's so far away that they kill the boss, and then they take the key, and now they have all the treasure. And it turns out it didn't really matter because we allianced up with them. They were friendly, and then we shared the treasure, so it didn't really matter. But oh my God, I'm just sitting there like I tell her like this. Look, this is what is going to happen. We're in a, hold on, the cat's meowing. Oh my gosh. I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to let the cat out because she has to go outside all this 5, 6 times a day. But yeah, but it's just whatever I tell her to do. And then there was another time, I'm gonna squeak in my voice. Another time, we got killed. We're sitting there. We decide to split up. So I take a rowboat onto an island, and there's another island close by. She takes the main ship, our ship, still the same sloop, to another thing, to another island, a few miles away. So then all of a sudden, she's not watching. She's not watching around her ship for safety reasons. She's not looking at the map to see if there's any other ships near us. Then all of a sudden, a bigger ship, a brigantine, a 3-player ship. We're on a small 2-player ship. There are 3-player ships and then 4-player ships. She comes right at us, comes right at us. They're right next to us. And she's like, get back on the ship. Get back on the ship. They're right next to us. It's a Reaper, which a Reaper you can see on the giant map from anywhere. It's a level 3. So it's been there a whole long time. So she wasn't looking out for anything. So we get sunk by them. We lose our emissary flag and our treasure. We didn't have a lot. It's not that big of a deal. But we all fall asleep. We all get complacent, lured into a false sense of security. It happens. No big deal. So like, hey, let's go back to the brigantine and try to mess them up. So we go back. They're fighting another sloop. So 2-on-1. Hey, we got the advantage. So we had some gunpowder barrels, and we're gonna ram into them. We're gonna jump on board. That's the idea anyway. And then blow their ship up with the gunpowder barrels, just to try to be funny and have some fun. And then when we're coming up to them, we're not even close. We're not even close to the ship. And people who don't play, if you're holding something, you can't swim very fast because you're holding a gigantic explosive barrel. You swim very slow. She's like, should I jump in the water? And the ship is not coming towards us. Like, I have to intersect. Should I jump in the water and swim onto their boat? I'm like, you can't swim. Have you played this game? You've been playing this game for months. You know you can't. The ship isn't circling in an area and is going to, come back to the same area. The ship is sailing in a straight line. So if you jump out right now, where do you think you're going to go? You're going to be behind me. So that's not going to help any of us. What's going on here in your brain? You can try to jump off of when we are right about to collide, and when we collide, our boats are right next to each other. So then you can jump off onto our ship, onto theirs. That makes sense, right? But no, that's not what her head is. I'm going to jump in the water and then swim slowly to their boat. I'm like, good Lord, lady. And I tell her not to do that. I tell her, do not jump in the water with the gunpowder barrel and try to swim over there to them because they're moving at a high rate of speed. You're not going to be able to catch them. Not even close to catch them. We can't even catch them in our ship. If they had all their sails down, and if they were going in a straight line, we're going in a straight line, we couldn't catch up to them. So what makes you think you in the water with a barrel, you got to catch up to them? And I'm just sitting here like, that's not going to happen. And in my head, I'm not saying I'm saying all these things. Out loud, I'm just saying, no, you're not going to be able to catch up to them. That's not going to work. So we crash into each other. Okay, the whole shit, all this stuff goes dark. It kind of glitches to where I can't see anything for some reason, and I'm right there. One of their guys gets on board. I stupidly, now this was my fault. I think he's in the back of our ship, so I ignite our gunpowder barrel. And I just wanted to be funny, and I dropped the gunpowder barrel off the back of our boat because I'm thinking he's in the water. I thought he jumped off, but the way our boat hit, our boat stayed in that same area. So it blew up near our boat, which blew up the other gunpowder barrels in our ship, and then killed me at least. And I asked, Corey, where are you? Where'd you go? I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm in the water swimming with the gunpowder barrel. I don't think I'm going to catch them. She did the exact opposite of what I suggested. Now, granted, I'm an idiot and would have blew up. She would have been probably dead anyway if she would have stayed on the ship. But that's not the point. And it's just this funny thing is I screw up. I suck. I blow up the whole damn ship. and then she does something that keeps her alive, essentially, but also is going to do something that isn't that does something that's not going to help us. Now you can argue that I messed up even more, and that's a completely fair argument. It's like, why would I stay on the ship? Why would I listen to you when you're blowing up the ship? I get it. I get it. It's okay. So we just had a um like a video game disagreement, and I'm sitting here like, well, if you're gonna do the opposite of everything I suggest, then why are we playing? Then why aren't you calling all the shots? He was like, well, I don't like, I get all scrambled and I can't think. I was like, well, then I'm the default then. I'm the idiot that we're both stuck with. And we either have to listen to one of us, because two people, they have to have one, we have to have a singular plan, a singular mode of attack, because we're both not very good. So in order for our team to be good, we have to work together well. So that's what the relationship issues that we're having. In real life, we're fine. There's no issues, no more hypothetical children talk of how we're going to raise them. I see the way she treats her cats and her animals that never get disciplined, that never ever get disciplined unless she comes home from work and she's tired, and then they start pulling some shit. That's the only time I see her discipline the cats. I was like, you want me to? And she, they're different. They're different than children. I was like, if you don't treat your cats, you have to treat your kids better. Like if you're not a disciplinarian to animals and trying to teach them manners, you're gonna treat something even more special to you. No, you're gonna be softer. You're not gonna be harder on your kids that you love more. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm not just saying that if the cats get on the table, she just lets them on the table. Just lets them. Doesn't even think twice about it. Put on they walk on they they throw up, they shit, they walk, their paws are all over, and then they hop up on the counters where we eat food. Oh, that's fine. They're just cats. They have 3 cat trees in the house. They have an entire couch that they can climb all over. They have 6 scratch pads. They have a litter box. They have their own toilet in the house. I have to let them in and out of, they have their own little entrance and exit in the window. The screen is kind of cut a little bit and they can enter and exit through that. Yet I have to open the door because they're royalty. Sorry. I can't set anything. This is funny. I was telling her, I was like, I can't even set anything down because in the house, any clothes other than our bedroom, because the entire house, they climb all over and they have cat hair everywhere. And she's like, oh, I didn't think about that. And then I jokingly, I'm like, look, you can have your cats. That's fine. I understand. You love your cats probably a hell of a lot more than you love me. If I was an asshole and made her choose between the cats, I'd be looking for a place to live. I was like, I know the hierarchy. I know where they are. I know where they are in the hierarchy. But I like to tease her and give her shit about that. Just her cats are just run the damn house. When an animal, I saw something, when the animal tries to enter into the house before you, they think it means that the animals own the place. So the only rule I have for the cats is they don't go in the door before. And I don't even know if that's true or accurate. Then I saw some video of cats, like a hierarchy, and the boss cat sits up higher than the rest of them. And I see that when the two argue or fight, one of them will get up high, and then the other one will kind of back down. I'm like, why is? And then one always tries to go up higher than the always. But if the other one goes up to like the middle rung on the cat tree, never to the top, and then the black cat always goes to the top of the very very top, never hangs out in like the middle row. He's like, yeah, I'm way up here. This is the highest I can go. I'm way up here. I'm like, this is kind of weird. Maybe there is something to the hierarchy. Not too sure, but it's been interesting. This past weekend, I watched a UFC 259 with Israel Adesanya, trying to become a two-weight division champion. He normally fights at 185, and he went up to fight 205. and this bigger guy just laid on. Like striking, they were about, because Israel didn't want to exchange with this bigger guy. The bigger guy probably walks around at 220, I would say, walking around at 215, 220, and then sucks down to 205. And Israel weighed in at 200 pounds. But it's just interesting to see the difference in weight classes, in weight divisions, the huge advantage that this guy had. He just, when he got Israel down, I think it was in the fourth and fifth round, he took him down. He took him down near, right at the end of the third. So it wasn't that big of a deal that he got a takedown, but it wasn't that impressive that he held him there because it was such a short period of time until the round ended. But then the third and fourth, he just took him down and then held him there the whole time, just laid on him. And you saw the size difference. It was pretty evident. It was pretty obvious, but it was a good one. The best part about the whole night is I got to, there was a bar, and it was kind of like an inside outside bar that held the fight. You paid $10 to go in. I sat there. I got there around 6. Place, it started at 7. The only thing I didn't like is they weren't cooking their own food. Like their kitchen was shut down, I guess. So you had to order. There's a number on the table. You called to a food truck down the street, and I bought a burger for $18, burger and fries, and everything was cold. So I'm like, I'm not buying anything else. And then the beer was warm. The beer was kind of warm. Unbelievable. So, but I'll be going back there for all the UFC fights now. I know that there's an actual place I can go to. But Amanda Nunes fought. There was she destroyed this lady, Megan Anderson. There's one fight between this guy's last name is Jan, and then Jan and Sterling. And Sterling got kneed in the head, which I don't understand. So I got a question. Jan threw an illegal knee at Sterling at his head. Sterling was down. It was very obvious that he was down, and you're not allowed to kick somebody in the head while they're down. So Jan threw an illegal knee, hit him right in the head. Just, I'm surprised. I don't know how he didn't get knocked out. I would imagine this guy would be in a coma from the knee, the knee that was thrown. Hit him in the head. Sterling was wobbly, couldn't get up, couldn't walk. So they called the fight. Sterling won the match and the title on a disqualification. So, and that's not the issue that I have. I'm not, he would have been fine. He should have been. No, he threw an illegal knee. It connected. Jan should have been disqualified. The title should change hands because as we've seen in pro wrestling, if the champion is about to, say, lose a fight, he can just throw an illegal knee and keep the title. Or maybe the title becomes vacant. You can do that and make that a rule. But the guy who's getting an illegal knee hit upon him should not be penalized. Like he didn't do anything wrong. And Jan was winning the fight handily at that time. The first round, you can say, went to Sterling. He was more active, but Jan kind of just was more methodical, conserved. Just if you watch the fight, you know what I'm talking about. And it was an interesting issue. But then this guy, right? He got Sterling, Mr. Sterling. He was hit in the head, couldn't continue the fight. He had to be carried. He had to be held up, walking out of the octagon, right? And then wanted to do an interview. They said, "Hey, you're going to do an interview?" And he said, "Yeah." So hold on. And then spoke clearly. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming if you have serious medical issues where you can't fight, the doctor deems everything, hey, you can't fight, you can't compete, so you're not mentally capable. But then you can have an interview and speak more eloquently than most people in the world? Huh? And then sit there and then be fine? He sat there for a few minutes, and then Joe Rogan's like, "Hey, I'm being told to, stop the interview so you can go get medical attention. He should have got medical attention in the first place. What are they doing interviewing this guy that got just a blatant knee right to the head and had all the symptoms of being concussed? And Sterling get hit in the head with an illegal knee, lay down, take the championship money. He doesn't owe anybody anything. I mean, if he's married, he owes his wife a paycheck, and she got a paycheck. He gets double the money, and then he has the title now. So his next fight, he's gonna have championship money, and then they're gonna run this back, and he's gonna get paid more money. Lay down. What are you talking about here? Shouldn't be criticized for. He's like, I'm not the one that threw the illegal knee here, guys. Don't get, don't get. It's not like this other guy, the champion, by the way, Jan. I don't know how to say his first name. Is P-T-R, Petter Jan, Peter Jan. Not too sure. It's not like he hasn't been fighting in the UFC. He's the champion, and I want to see here. I want to click on his name and see the history. See if I can see his history. I want to know. No Mercy, Peter Yan. Bantamweight division. What's his wins by knockout? 7. Won by submission. Are they gonna show his height, weight, weighs in 135 pounds? Why can't I see his overall bantamweight? He's 15-2 now. So he knows not to do that, right? He speaks a different language. He's from, where is he from? And say he's from Russia. So there could be a language issue. But I'm pretty sure they can translate downed opponent, don't knee him in the head, don't kick him in the head. Pretty sure they can do that. Unless there's no word in Russia for down, knee, and head. there's no, I don't think so. But it was awesome watching the fight. So instead of spending $60 for the fight, I spent $10 for the fight and $50 on food. I'm trying to support local business. Yeah, but then my girlfriend came. She watched the last bit of it. She went out with some of her girlfriends, and I was like, I would rather bite a bullet than go hang out with you and your girlfriends. Rather just end it all real quick. I'm trying to find this box score. I hate that the NBA does not. It's like stats about the game. What's going on with the game? And then they show Twitter responses for the game. I'm like, no, could you just show me the box score, please? I'm begging you. Could you show me the box score? The NBA All-Star game was also last Sunday. And I completely forgot it even was going on. I watched the 3-point contest. That was awesome. The dunk contest, I knew was going to be trash. It's just I don't understand why athletes don't want to compete in it. I don't get it. I've never dunked before. Maybe they just don't have any dunks. Maybe there are players that don't work on them, and that's fine. That's understandable. But it's not for them. It's for the spectacle. It's for the fans. So it would be cool to see Zion Williamson come out there and try whatever he's going to try. But then you get the agents behind him. Like, if you lose, it's going to hurt your brand. Your brand is... All right, but if you win, your brand goes up, right? Okay, unless you're going to be an all-time great player, the dunk contest can elevate you and will elevate you. If you have a memorable moment, say like Blake Griffin, people are always going to remember his moments. People always remember Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine's battle. If you're, I don't know. But if you know you're not special and different, maybe like LeBron James knows he's an in-game dunker. He's not going to, if he goes against someone in the NBA and they beat him, they're always going to have that on. But then it's a dunk contest. It doesn't matter. No one's going to say, oh, LeBron James isn't the greatest basketball player of all times because Michael Jordan won a dunk contest and he didn't. No, what? That doesn't matter at all. Now, if you're arguing about dunking, who's the greatest dunker, then you could, but no one, I think in-game dunker, you can say Vince Carter, Blake had some amazing posters. Dr. J, I would say that Jordan, Dominique, as far as like smaller guard forwards, and then you have like like power forwards, Daryl Dawkins. There's all sorts. Also, best guard dunker, like small guard, point guard. You can say Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, and then Russell Westbrook's like a shooting guard pretty much, but he's point. I'm pretty sure I'm leaving out somebody. You can say even I wouldn't say Ja Morant, but he's athletic enough to be, and he doesn't have the resume. But it's just see, I'm trying to find NBA All-Star box score, and it's not letting me click on anything. You go to game stats, and I want to like know specifically broken down player. I want to know their field goal percentage. Trying to figure this out here live. Oh, that's what I don't like. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the. I should have brought it up. I want to talk. There's people saying, is it bad that the NBA is shooting more threes? It's like, no, it's a skill. Like, is it a problem that the three-pointer has become more important than the dunk, more celebrated? No. No. Do you know why? Because it's harder to shoot threes. It's harder. How many people in the NBA can dunk? I'd say damn near all of them. How many can shoot threes? Not all of them. Do you know why? Because it's harder. It's more difficult. And when Steph Curry and Damian Lillard pull up from half court, and most NBA players can't do that in an NBA game, otherwise they would, you realize how great they are, how skillful they are, and that should be celebrated. A skill should be more celebrated than an ability. Now, you have different levels of dunkers. People who are dunking on people like Blake Griffin used to, like I said, Dominique Wilkins, he's double clutching on Larry Bird and just destroying him. That should be celebrated. Scottie Pippen dunking over Patrick Ewing should be celebrated. But just going up and dunking, that's what I'd never liked. When someone throws you an alley-oop and you're by yourself and you run and jump and you catch it and you dunk it. Now, I've never done that in the history of my life on a 10-foot rim. Never even really came close. I could grab the rim at one point in my life, and that's it. So speaking someone who's ground bound, if I'm really athletic, jumping without the ball is way easier. Going up and getting something, that's the hard part, the hand-eye coordination. That'd be the only difficult part is to catch a ball and then to dunk it. That would be the most difficult part, and just to get up there. But most people, it's easier for them to jump without the ball. They can jump higher just freely because you're not holding you're not holding something. It's a completely different way of jumping. But it depends. Some people can jump with the ball. Some people can. So I don't know. It's all personal preference. It's all a skill set depending on the person. But I would say, granted by the NBA, watching the NBA, it's a lot easier to dunk than it is to, now it depends on who's guarding the basket. It does do that. But just in the overall flow of a game, especially the flow of an all-star game, it's much easier to dunk than it is to shoot threes from damn near half court consistently. Like, let's stop. Can we stop pretending like this is easy? Like what they're doing, what Steph Curry is doing, and he's more. There was some. What was it? Article that I read that said Steph Curry is more important to basketball than LeBron James. Like LeBron James is arguably the second or third greatest player of all time. I was like, what? Steph Curry is not that, but influential. So you can be you can be not as good, but the way you play the game can be so inspiring that it changes the way people view the game. So who is more important to the NBA? LeBron James or Steph Curry? And I read this article, and you can say, like, you see all these kids now shooting threes like Steph Curry. When I was growing up, you never shot a three off the dribble ever. It was just you were set, someone passed it to you, and you shot it, or you were moving off screens. You'd catch and shoot. And I grew up not knowing how to shoot off the dribble. Now every kid in the world is learning how to shoot off the dribble, becoming a threat at any position. So if you're always a threat to shoot, it's almost more impossible for them to guard, for the defense to guard you. So if you think about that and what Steph Curry brought to the NBA, and then what Dame Lillard also added to the game, and you can say now Trae Young, you can see these smaller guards coming into the league that just have range, and there's going to be more and more and more and more of them. It's going to be more acceptable shooting off the dribble. You can say C.J. McCollum is like that. Just a lot of players that have that ability now, and it's not because of LeBron James, it's because of Steph Curry. So, like, what did LeBron add to the game? Did he do anything different that stood out? It's like, whoa, no, he was just bigger, stronger, faster. Maybe his passing, but I mean, Magic was doing those passes. We've seen great passers before, but we've never seen someone shoot like that. But we've seen shooters, but not shoot like that. So it's a different, I don't know. People look at that, like, it doesn't, I don't know if it wows you as much, a pass. It depends on the pass, I guess. And then also if you're smaller, if you're a small guard and you make an amazing pass around big people, people are like, oh my God. Unless you add some flash to it like Magic. Then when he's coming down the fast break, he looks one way and then passes the other. And you're just like, this 6'9" guy is unheard of. But I don't know. So video game, oh no, not video game news. This is funny. Saw this article on Yahoo Life. The Rock shares insight about his Black Adam shoulder training. I'm just sitting here like, what? He's sharing information about it. Why is this? And then they just show him doing it's a Twitter post. This particular workout for shoulders is designed to maximize the blood volume right out of the gate. Blood volume. I've never heard about that, about as far as working out. Of course, I'm not a 6'4" workout machine. Steroids. Also, make sure it's like, oh yeah, he takes. Why are you insulting him? Are you putting down? I was like, no, he works incredibly hard, but also steroids. It's like The Rock is so inspirational. Do you see what he did before? I was like, yeah, he understands if he's an incredibly hard worker. He understands if he takes steroids, works out all day, he can get jacked. Understand? He looks better now than he did when he wrestled. Is anyone else concerned about that? And also make sure the rep range is still in place, where we're still fine tuning all the etching and all the detail of the muscle, keeping its hardness. Hey, Rock, keeping me hard, but also making that strict diet. Well, I can't even read properly right now. Why is reading sometimes really easy, and then other times it's just like there's a brick wall every 3 words, and you can't even say it out loud. You can read it in your head. Is it because I skip words when I read in my head? I don't know. But this is an article. There's an article about The Rock's Twitter video. And this Twitter video this is a huge freaking video. I don't know what aspect ratio that is, but it's huge. Huge. I like this article, comicbook.com. PS4 console exclusive, now also coming to Xbox One. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? It's PS4 console exclusives is now coming to Xbox One and Xbox One X. Okay, here we go, videos. Even though I don't want the audio, I should probably just mute the whole thing. I apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen. I won't edit that out. It says some of the best games over the past decade have been PS4 exclusive. Uncharted 4, Bloodborne, Until Dawn, Marvel Spider-Man, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Horizon Zero Dawn, to The Last of Us Part 2, to Ghost of Tsushima, and to the greatest of them all, God of War. So this, greatest of them all, that's subjective, whatever that word is. There's no denying the PS4 has some of the most compelling exclusives of all time across all video game consoles. That said, it lost a console exclusive though not anything that comes anywhere near the significance of the games above. So then why write an article? Sometime this year, Away, the survival series, is coming to PS4 and PC. Developer Breaking Walls announced as such last summer. That said, it's now coming to Xbox One. I'm like, so you got me to click on this article, knowing that I would be thinking Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn. Did they even put Horizon Zero Dawn in there? They did. Okay, right there. I was like, did I read that? See, I don't even remember what I read. These clickbaity articles bother me. This is interesting. Roblox Goes Public. Roblox is a free-to-play child's video game, which I don't understand how this is working. So I'm going to try to read this out loud. Roblox Goes Public. This is by CNNBusiness.com and is instantly worth more than $45 billion. Investors weren't making the trademark oof Roblox death sound Wednesday. Shares of the popular video game platform debuted on Wall Street and surged nearly 55% to $69.50, valuing the company at more than $45 billion. Roblox describes itself as a metaverse where players can make their own avatars and environments to play in, such as virtual theme parks or scuba diving. That's what it is. Roblox is amazing. Roblox CEO quoted, Roblox is an amazing community where people are creating together. His stakes in the company are now worth more than $4 billion. That's basically 10%. He owns 10% of the company. Now, why can't I scroll now? I love how I can't scroll for no reason. Did everything freeze? Did my computer freeze? I don't know what's going on right now. Or is it just that? Okay, now it's back. Yay, it's working. Why is that video play? See, a video should never automatically play on your screen. Never. That should be illegal. If I don't click on a video, it shouldn't play. Metaverse. Roblox is a free download for phones, tablets, and consoles. The company generates nearly all of its revenue from the sales of its Robux currency, which can be used to purchase in-game virtual objects. More than half of those sales are through the App Store, Apple, and Google. That's a big and it's a big and rapidly growing business. Roblox posted revenue of nearly 200. Oh, sorry. Let me read this again. I'm doing really good today. Good job, Chase. Roblox posted revenue of nearly $925 million last year, up 82% from 2019. The company also said earlier this month that it now expects sales to rise about another 60% this year to range of 1.4 billion to 1.52 billion. Roblox has 32.6 million daily active users at the end of 2020, and the company is predicting that we'll have 34.6 million by the end of 2021. The majority of the company's players are kids 13 and under, but Basuki, the CEO, said that the company is approaching a point where most of its players won't be tweens. He said that the group of 17 to 24-year-old users is growing very rapidly. Well, yeah, people get older. You idiot. But Roblox noted in its paperwork with Securities and Exchange Commission that having such a young user base will lead to more scrutiny of the platform. The increased use of interactive entertainment offerings by offerings like ours by customers, including younger consumers, may prompt calls for more stringent consumer protection laws and regulations that impose additional burdens on companies such as ours. That means Roblox has to make sure that the game stays safe for minors playing it and that the privacy practices are strictly enforced. The company also has safeguards to ensure that younger users aren't spending too much to buy Robux. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm really sure you're okay. The New York Stock Exchange has set a reference price of $45 a share when it first came out, and then obviously it went up to what I said before. This is interesting. Roblox is still non-profitable. It costs more than $253 million. It lost more than $253 million in 2020, up from a loss or about $71 million the year prior. So it lost 71 million. This year it lost 253 million. How this game is done, right? How I don't understand how you're losing money. And then you come out and it's like, the CEO said the company will look to generate more sales from advertising. He stressed that it will be organic. Okay, sure. Users, for example, can pay to wear Nike shoes in-game as opposed to seeing big Air Jordan billboards in Roblox. The small amounts of advertising we have been doing is immersive and authentic. That's what they all say. So I don't understand how a company that lost $71 million last year, then lost $253 million this year. That's a good business model. People are excited about that. You're excited about that? Hey, how much did we lose last year? 71 million. How much did we lose this year? 200. Oh, let's go public. It'll be great. And then sell all of our stocks all at once. Immediately. It's like, what? I don't understand how that business model holds up. You're losing that much more. But maybe that doesn't even matter. Who knows? I would like to know what, I still can't find the anti-Semitic slur that Myers-Leonard that said. And that's another whole interesting issue. He got suspended, and yet you can insult a white person and not be suspended at all. I believe that's called a double standard. Yes, it is. But that's what white people have done for decades. So it's okay if we criticize white people for doing that, but then do it ourselves. Xbox exclusive sci-fi RPG coming from Dark Souls developer. An image of Xbox head Philip Spencer may hint that Dark Souls developer From Software could be creating a new sci-fi RPG exclusively for Xbox. Possible tease from Philip Spencer may indicate the new sci-fi RPG From Software is coming exclusively to Series X and S consoles. From Software developer of Demon's Souls, the Dark Souls series, Bloodborne, and 2009 Game of the Year, Sekiro died twice. Not died once, but he died twice. Has become one of the most acclaimed developers in the gaming industry. It also currently in the development of Elden Ring, of which no gameplay or official images have been revealed as of writing this. A leaked trailer has indicated 4 playable classes, but this info has not been confirmed. In recent interviews with Spencer and Todd Howard, director recently acquired Bethesda Softworks, teases of projects like the Series S and Indiana Jones games were hiding in the background. This has led to so many fans analyzing these interviews for possible clues. While Demon's Souls and Bloodborne are PlayStation exclusive IPs, From Software has developed and published the Souls trilogy as a third party for PlayStation and Xbox consoles, PC, and even the Nintendo Switch. While many fans have wanted the follow-up to the much-beloved Bloodborne, the Japanese developer has not revealed any plans for a sequel, even an update for the title on PS5. So it's kind of interesting. Xbox Series X, which is still suffering from stocking issues, has now started the next generation of gaming very well. In the 5 months Xbox Series X has been around, Xbox has been one of the exclusive game releases for the new console to compete with Sony's 4. I know because Halo Infinite got delayed. We know, but this is a long haul. We're in it for the marathon. We're not in it for the sprint. All right? And even when our games get announced, Xbox games get announced, it's still going to be a little bit behind. It's going to be okay. I think. This is an interesting story that has nothing to do with video games. Lou Ottens, Ottens, inventor of the cassette tape, has died. That makes you feel old, doesn't it? Lou Ottens, who put music lovers around the world on a path toward playlists and mixtapes by leading the invention of the first cassette tape, has died at 94. Good life. That means every cassette tape he got paid for? Could you imagine? Give me a penny per, if he had half a penny. Oh, Jesus. Imagine all the cassette tapes that were made back then. Ottens was a talented and influential engineer at Philips, where he also helped develop, oh, cool, then all the patents went to Philips probably, where he also helped develop consumer compact discs, CDs. Ottens died last Saturday, according to the Dutch news outlet, which lists his age at 94. The cassette tape was Ottens' answer to a large reel-to-reel tapes that provided high-quality sound, but were seen as too clumsy and expensive. Well, yeah, just take what the big thing is and make it smaller. That's a crazy idea. He took on the challenge of shrinking the tape technology in the early 60s, but when it came to the head of new production development of Hasselt, Belgium, for the Dutch-based Philips technology company, Lou wanted music to be portable and accessible. Oten's goal was to make something, Otten's goal was to make something simple and affordable for anyone to use. It's kind of crazy. I didn't even know who did that till he died. I want to hear how to pronounce his name correctly. This guy had a huge impact on society. Let me see videos here. Lou Orton dies. Let me see how to. We're gonna watch a video here. Your data, your experience, manage settings, accept all. Nope, reject all. Why is it every time you go on a goddamn website, you see all these cookies? We're gonna steal all of your information. Do you want these cookies? Oh, Jesus Christ. This is why people hate, like, don't go on your website. We go on your website to see one thing and you throw us all of this other shit. What's his name? What? There's have music? Okay, great. Great. Good job. Good job, video. Got me to click on it. The Life and Sadness Inventor. Okay, can interview? Yeah, how about an interview? How about an interview? Job interview coming up. No, inventor cassette tape blue. Okay, passed away. Can we get an interview with him? I don't understand. I'm at a loss for words. That you can't. Nobody interviewed him. Nobody interviewed him. So nobody interviewed this guy ever. Phillips compact disc Lou Oltons. It was in 63. Can I get something? Jesus Christ. Okay, fine. Apparently he wasn't that interesting because nobody interviewed him. Jesus. They just show him moving around cassette tapes. How do you not know how to? Maybe I'm the dumb one because I don't know how to say the Ottens or Otens. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here's a New York Times. This is how smart they are. This is how intelligent. New York Times. Collapse. Jesus. You go on a website. There's a whole thing on the computer. It drops down covering half the screen, advertisements. You exit out of that. Another one pops up from the bottom. Are they trying to drive everybody insane? Jesus Christ. Anyways, New York Times. Just have the ads small, built into the article. And I don't understand. I will never in my fucking life buy something that pops up on my screen that I don't want. Nothing has ever, it's basically a stranger coming into your house uninvited and just saying, here, I'm selling you these vacuums. At least the vacuum salesman had the decency to knock on the door. Hey, do you have time for this? Would you like to see what I'm selling? Some fucking politeness. Jesus Christ. I will never buy anything that pops up on it that aggressively on any device. Who the fuck do you think you are? Anyways, New York Times. Getting to the bottom of the runner's high. For years, we've been crediting endorphins, but it's really about the endocannabinoids. So running isn't releasing endorphins. We can stop crediting endorphins, the natural opioid painkillers produced by our bodies, for the floaty euphoria we often feel during aerobic exercise, according to a nifty new study of men, women, and treadmills. What about the other genders? What about the two-spirited beings and the non-formal, formal, non-male, but male? Jesus. In the study, runners developed a gentle intoxication known as runner's high, even if researchers had blocked their body's ability to respond to endorphins, suggesting that those substances could not be behind the buzz. Instead, the study suggests a different set of biochemicals resembling eternal homegrown versions of cannabis, better known as marijuana. We know what, thank you, fucking squares, are likely to be responsible. The findings expand, and what we mean by marijuana is weed. What we mean by weed is better known as, people can, if they don't understand what cannabis is, they can double click on the word and dictionary search it. The findings expand our understanding of how running affects our bodies and minds, and also raise interesting questions about why we might need the slightly toned in order, or the toned, Jesus Christ. Could you have, what endorphin is released for better reading ability? We might need to be slightly stoned in order to want to keep running. That's not true at all. I don't think that's accurate at all. I run or jog because I know it benefits me, makes me feel good. But why does it make you feel good? That's what they're saying. In surveys and studies of experienced distant runners, most report developing mellow runner's high at least sometimes. The experience typically is characterized by loose-limbed blissfulness and a shedding of anxiety and unease after half an hour or so of striding. In 1990s, exercise scientists started attributing this buzz to endorphins after noticing that blood levels of the natural painkillers rise in the people's bloodstreams when they run. More recently, because you're dealing with pain. That's not... Okay. It's not because you're running that your body releases endorphins, I don't think. Now, speaking from someone who's not a medical expert, but if your body experiences pain or discomfort for such a long period of time, it's going to release endorphins to deal with those pains, right? So it could be anything. It doesn't have to be running. It could be any kind of strenuous workout. Jumping jacks. Why do jumping jacks have endorphins? No, it's just any activity that causes pain, you're going to release endorphins to deal with the pain. And then when you come down from them, you're not in pain anymore. You're going to feel way better. That's why people who work out, they feel better. It's just how the body works, because your body is supposed to move. If you're, I'm assuming we evolved from hunter-gatherers because we were running after animals and killing them, our ancestors. I'm assuming before tools and everything, had to eat animals with their bare hands, had to run, capture them, ambush them. And so if you're doing that for a long period of time, your body is going to have to adapt or you're going to die. And people whose body adapted lived on. But running is good for you and really And how do you know that you understand the body enough to block endorphins? Because aren't you the same people that thought endorphins was part of running? So really you don't know. Studies suggest to come out and say getting to the bottom of running for years crediting it, but it's really about the endocannabinoids when you don't really know. Okay, got it. You don't really know what you're talking about. Cool. Speaking of working out, I'm going to go stretch. I got a massage gun. I'm going to put up my... But that's been the podcast. Chase Carter Concept Podcast for March 11th, 2021. I appreciate you guys if you listened this far. Apologize. Actually, I don't apologize. I should have been harder on the advertisers. I would never click on an advertising that completely covers your screen. Fuck you. I bought this screen. You didn't. Get out of my eyesight. If you want to make little ones, that's acceptable. I understand that. These big, huge ones, I will never buy that product. I don't even care if it's milk or water. I'll buy it from somebody else, you fucks. Listen to that, Google. Hope you guys have a nice week. Take it easy. Easy on you. You got this shit knocking low.